So we use Discord all the time on the stream. Like many WoW players, it's a fun way for the community to interact. You know, when I'm offline, it's also a good way to interact in the game, right? Voice chat and everything. Since the days of what was it called, Ventrilo and TeamSpeak, Discord really took over the scene. Well, one of our favorite voice chat platforms and chatting platforms is looking to go public. Oh no, this is not good. When a company goes public, they have fiduciary duty to its shareholders. So we might be seeing more ads in Discord. We might be seeing a lot more things we don't like in Discord. Yeah, boo indeed. Let's see what's going on here with Discord. And they're talking to banks from Bellular.
Discord wants to go public, and that's something we already knew from 2024, but what's now changed is that the Financial Times have got sources who say that Discord are actively talking to banks, and that means that it's not a desire, it is a plan that they are progressing along. And if none of this would impact us as users, in a way we wouldn't care. But it will impact
us.
It arguably has. Things are changing on the app literally right now. And if
Have you guys noticed? I noticed it this morning, and I haven't seen a lot of this before. I exited it out. But there was an ad for me in Discord right here when I opened Discord today. It was like a little ad. I don't even know what it was for. I just quickly closed it out. But interestingly enough, yeah, the monetization and advertisation of Discord has been pretty rampant over the last year. It's going to get worse, maybe.
Enshittification, it's not because you've gone mad, it's because you're a human.
Yeah, I got the ad too, yep.
Is, we know patterns, and we really hope Discord doesn't go bad. We also know that Discord fundamentally has a problem. Money. That's the problem Discord has, but in a way it's a problem that they always knew they would have. You see, often success is about picking your problem, right? What you're kind of willing to have as an issue, and being a venture-backed tech company, Discord's problem, the thing that they sacrificed, was short-term profitability. And that might sound completely insane, but it's actually typical, and it is a real business model. For something like Discord, the value is in users. So there's no point over monetizing a small social network if what you really want to do is grow, and then once you're huge, then generate mad returns, but not necessarily through the company being super profitable. Oh no. Generate mad returns for investors and shareholders by either being acquired by another larger company or by going public. It's very much the typical model, and for Discord, that meant them raising $1 billion across 17 funding rounds over the last while. I'll return to that money soon, but...
Hold on, so the current valuation is what? Post-money valuation, $15 billion for a Discord? What the hell? I mean, I guess it is a really good video app and chatting platform. It really is. I mean, and it's a streaming platform. Discord recently had the whole achievement with WoW where you could get the little ogre WoW pet if you streamed on Discord for like 1 hour. So, I mean, Discord's very versatile, and everything in it works pretty good. Like, there's a reason the gaming community has kind of huddled around Discord as the choice for chatting and voice calling.
Soon, but you needed that context of money as a problem, that they've raised all this venture money, to basically understand what's coming next. It's the vital context. Because if you thought the Discord Nitro boosts and cosmetics were enough for an app like this to really work, you'd be wrong. Because Discord are about to massively expand ads. Advertisements are going to hit Discord mobile this June. Of course, they've been on desktop since last year. And for Discord, they are genuinely a key to the future. Look, here's the thing. I don't like it, by the way, but advertisements do work. That's why RuneScape is even toying with them for its free tier. It's why...
Okay, so basically, for advertising in general, we got to blame the people who are actually clicking the fucking ads. It's your fault. Who the fuck's clicking these ads? Who's doing this shit? Who's interacting with it? Because clearly, I mean, based on what he said, and based on the fact that we see ads everywhere that we do, it does work. Who's the fucking boomer clicking the damn ads? Stop doing that shit. I mean, I'm betting if that we'll start to see ads if I pull up our Discord general chat here. Like, we'll start to see randomly, like every 15, 25, 30 messages, a random ad shows up. Like this sponsored content showing up in your Discord. And what it'll do, too, is maybe it'll start to generate money for the Discord owners. So, like, say somebody like Asmod who's got a massive fucking channel, right? Advertisers will pay to be, show up in his channel. And he'll get a little kickback from everybody who sees the ad. That's how that shit will typically work. That's how YouTube ads work, right? Somebody makes a video, ad gets placed in the video. Google makes the majority of the money from the ad placement, but because that ad was seen under your video, you get a little kickback for that ad being seen on your video. Yeah.
Premium streaming services have now got
Biz Discord
ads,
chat is
even
good for
on a paid tier. Straight up, if a company just wants more money, ads are the go-to solution.
They are.
Assuming the audience is entrenched and sticky. And if it's something where, you know, it's the only place you can get your TV show conveniently, or say Discord where all your friends are, yeah, you're probably going to tolerate ads. So as a business model, it makes sense. And in fairness to Discord, their ads are not like most. They actually try to do them well. They've got this whole branding about them being quests, and there's in-app cosmetics. That's decently
true.
high effort, right? They're smart enough. They're fairly inoffensive. But importantly for brands, they're action. They're results driven. They're very trackable. That is amazing for brands actually tracking what their ad spending is even doing. It's very important. Say if you're an ad buyer and you want to have good numbers you can show to a higher up in the office. And Discord also has another thing. It is massive in demographics that are traditionally harder to reach through conventional marketing channels. That's
true.
Huge value.
That is a massive value. I never thought about that. But yeah, Discord is very gamer focused, right? Like, I don't know a lot of people whose mom uses Discord unless their mom is a gamer. In general, the age demographic, the focus is very much, we're probably all around the same age. A lot of us, I would say, probably most Discord users are between maybe 20s to 50 years old, like in that age demographic. I'm cornering. I know there's some of you guys out there older than that or younger in chat right now, but that's probably the typical age demographic, and most of them are on Discord because of video games or for whatever reason. So that's a pretty good audience if that's what you're targeting. Like, it's very obvious if you want to target that age demographic or that gamer community, this is a great place to find them, right? So you're going to go to Discord and say, hey, I want to run an ad. You got my target demographic. And by the way, it's a very hard demographic to reach, right? We're not on Facebook necessarily. Or if we are, we might be harder to find. How are you going to single us out? Discord's a great way to single us out.
It's the sort of value you'd want to demonstrate if you planned to go public. But here's the thing. I thought we were going to talk about Discord ads for a bit and talk about some of the basic businessy things. The basic story of platform good, platform grow, platform is venture funded, ads and enshittification will follow is still there. But what I did not expect was the grand strategy, the chess that they're playing, and everything else that we dig up. Being nice to have is one thing, but being essential to have is another thing. And Discord wants to be essential, not just to you and me, but also to the industry. So to do that, they have a plan to become a piece of vital internet infrastructure. Now, we've already seen some of this, but only in the form of little nice-to-haves, like having a game integration that means, oh, you can see the final circle in PUBG on Discord if your friends are playing the game. That's hardly vital.
That's kind of some cool cross-platform stuff. I mean, recently, you guys have been seeing on stream when I open up WoW, the Discord overlay, it's becoming more integrated into things beyond just Discord being a chatter platform. So yeah, we're seeing it live. It's happening literally on stream. I've been commenting. I'm like, man, Discord's becoming a bit intrusive. This shit's showing up everywhere when I play games. It just keeps popping up. I had to turn off the overlay recently because it was kind of annoying me. But Discord being a very much part of the industry, right? We recently saw them show up. Now I think now they're on PlayStation. Like, they're on consoles now. So they kind of want to become like the required platform if you want your gamers to be chatting with each other. And that's what they're doing, right? PlayStation voice chat sucks. But if you're using Discord, much better. It's already a platform that's all set up to do that.
That's hardly something you can pitch to the world as being transformational for your business. So how about this instead? Discord as your entire social system. And it means that rather than being a nice to have, it's them literally running part of a game. So it's called the Discord Social SDK. And honestly, it's a pretty genius plan. And it is an area ripe for disruption. So as the name suggests, it's an SDK, it's a developer tool. And put simply, it is a complete off-the-shelf system that will handle friends lists, game invites, text chat, and voice chat. All without needing a Discord login. It will all be ran on Discord. It is Discord, but actually logging into Discord isn't required. Though, of course, if you do log into Discord, you'll get extra features.
So I see what they're doing there. So a developer who's making a new game, say you got an indie developer and you want chat function in your game, you could use the Discord SDK, right? Your players would not have to have a Discord account, but the chat in the game will be running via Discord's engine. That is pretty smart, actually. You're creating Discord integration in all these games because the developers are picking up your platform and using it.
Now,
Well, for
obviously,
today,
I
quick
then
normal
think
run,
about
probably.
what Discord has done with having cosmetics. Oh, there you go. A natural deep integration. That's the kind of thing you can really sell an investor on. So basically,
Right.
it's free, cross-platform social infrastructure that works out of the box and can run that whole system for your video game. And so far, the developers behind Rust, Splitgate 2, and Theorycraft Games being a company, they've had early access, but the overall thing is now public for everybody. And in terms of competition, Steam Voice Chat, the Battle.net apps,
Yeah, they
voice
suck.
chat,
They suck.
things that exist but aren't really fantastic. And yes, Steam does more. You can join your friends, and that's the sort of thing that this will actually support with the new Discord system. But the point basically is, Steam is very much tied to a storefront. That means that it can't really be as ubiquitous as something like Discord can be. And
Yeah.
since so many people already use Discord, I can very much imagine users actually asking developers for this system to be used. But remember the context of this story. Discord wants
What's
to go
up,
public.
Bikini?
And to go public successfully, they will need to
Big
demonstrate humongous growth potential. And that's why moving beyond just having users and towards being digital infrastructure is such a well-tuned move to accomplish their goals.
Yeah.
It's vital to their plan. But with all of this, we still have that worry of enshittifying Discord. That's
Shitifying Discord is what, what he's talking about when he says that is right now Discord's goal all along has been to create the best chatting video stream, whatever platform, right? And that has been their goal, to create a very valuable company. So who's benefited from that? The customer, right? Their whole thing is we got to get more customers. We got to get a ton of people using this platform. How do we do that? We make the platform very good at everything it does, and they've done that very well. Discord is the go-to. I don't even know of another one right now in the industry that people use to chat other than Discord when it comes to gaming and PCs and all that other shit. So Discord is the go-to. They've done that. They've done a great job of that. Outside of that, if they go public and now they have investors, guess who they are beholden to? Not the customer anymore. They want to get more customers still to create value for investors, but at the end of the day, they're going to start wanting to milk the customers because they are now beholden to investors. No longer is their goal just to serve the customer as well as possible, to generate as many customers as possible and create more value. No, it's going to be, we got to milk value out of the ones we have and generate more at the same time, which leads to shitification.
Let's return to the money. With what you've just heard, this will matter a hell of a lot more, and it's actually a more dramatic story than I kind of expected. Okay, do you remember how the pandemic drove stock markets absolutely mad? So Discord very much thought they were part of that vanguard of future companies, right? Where it was always going to be work from home. Everyone's using Zoom on their Peloton. The world has changed and it's never going back. At that time, Discord thought of themselves as the community hub for the world, right? More than just gaming. They very much wanted to grow radically beyond where they had started. That didn't really come to pass. They very much now realize they are a social app for gaming. That means for them that infinite user growth would not happen. And that suddenly means that strange concepts like profit and loss actually started to become important to them. Because of that, Discord axed 17% of their headcount as a part of a plan to be profitable by 2024.
See, it's like always, it's like these bad things start happening. These fucked up things start happening in pursuit of profitability and gaining investors. It's unfortunate, but it just always happens this way. Like a nice, fun startup that's doing a great job. You've got employees you're taking care of. You got customers that you're serving and doing the right thing by. And then all of a sudden, the little fucking tick starts in the back of the brain that says, we got to generate more profits. We got to become investable. So you start cutting your staff. You start putting more ads in your shit. You start profiting more off of your customers. And there's nothing wrong with profitability. Creating a company for profit, it's fine. But I just feel like it leads to more and more bad actions like this. And eventually they just become another giant corporate conglomerate that just sucks the life out of you.
But
and
in the
fucks
last
up
year,
its employees.
It seems things have only escalated. So the Financial Times say that they are now talking to banks in order to fund going public. 2024 saw advertisements become a thing. 2025 is seeing those move over to mobile. On the whole going public thing,
people will leave if they flood Discord with ads. Go where? Where are you going to go? If they flood Discord with ads, where are you going to go? What other platform is there that's as good as Discord right now for creating a community to chat with while in game? I don't think there is a good alternative right now. Maybe one pops up later down the line, but even that one could go down this same path eventually. And look, ads, they're like a necessary evil. Like, it will happen, and it's already happening in Discord, the PC version. We see them now. As long as they're not hyper intrusive, they'll be fine. But we'll see how far Discord's going to push ads.
For their part, Discord are publicly downplaying that that's what they're trying to do, but that's actually exactly what you would do if you wanted to go public,
Probably do normal.
but didn't want rampant speculation to overhype their valuation. And in this case, well, we've got robust sourcing from the Financial Times that says they're literally talking to the banks. And the valuation number will actually matter here. So, as I said earlier, they've had $1 billion in funding across 17 rounds. So here's how those investors get their tasty returns. Option number one is to be acquired, and Microsoft allegedly offered them $12 billion in 2021, but they rejected.
Wow.
So I guess no Microsoft Teams gaming for us. Thank God, that would have been horrible.
God, that would have
Option
been
two
bad.
then is to go public. That very much seems to be the plan, and if you watched our video on Thunderful lately, you'll know where that kind of thing can go. Now, certainly, that Discord rejected a $12 billion offer. That certainly implies either they really didn't want Microsoft, or they believe, actually,
they're worth
they have
more.
a fair valuation way higher.
Yeah.
But that $12 billion offer was in 2021. As of right now, they do have a valuation of about $15 billion, so at least for me, it'll be damn interesting to see whenever they do go public.
15 billion. That's crazy. TeamSpeak is what some... TeamSpeak's still around? TeamSpeak's still around. Wow, I didn't even know that. I used to use TeamSpeak. I remember running Karazhan on TeamSpeak. But it's an inferior platform, let's be honest. The Discord's clearly the better platform in every way, shape, and form.
What they're actually going to be able to race. But okay, what does
like
this...
right now, if somebody posted a raid run in WoW and said we're using TeamSpeak, I'd have to go download it. The fuck, I don't even have that on my computer right now. So but if you say you're using Discord, people will just say, oh, where's the link? Everybody's got Discord. If you play WoW, you got Discord on your PC right now. So it's become that hub for players. It's become the popular choice to go to. So if anything else wants to take market share away from Discord, they've got an uphill battle right now.
Actually mean for you and for me. Yeah, it's time to talk about enshittification.
Liquid uses
so many times in this channel, things fundamentally change whenever you go public, because what happens then is everything is laid bare for the public and investors to pick apart. But more importantly, the demands of those investors change. So if you're a traditional old business, maybe what people want is a juicy dividend increase. But if you're a modern tech company, well, maybe you'll be seen as what's called a growth stock, where it's not about dividends, it's about pushing up that stock price. And for Discord to be a growth stock, which naturally is its place as a tech company, I'd say, it will need to constantly show great execution while dangling a juicy new carrot over every quarter as much as they can. And not just a small juicy carrot that will drive some revenue, no, large strategic carrots. The sorts of things that let them tell stories to investors of transformational growth.
Right.
That's why the SDK.
Not just explosive growth. And that SDK that they mentioned, he's saying not just that. That's an amazing one. Because with this whole metaverse and all this fucking weird shit that, these companies are trying to push as the next big thing, imagine Discord's SDK, right, becomes the go-to platform for talking in these metaverses. Right, as I said, it's just a platform that they're going to give to developers. They don't need a Discord account to use it, and they can just integrate it into whatever they have. So say you create this metaverse, this virtual reality, and you need a way for these players to talk to each other. Oh yeah, let me just pick up the Discord package and implement it into my game. It's already got chat functions, voice functions, video functions, everything. It's perfect. That's awesome. And that's really good for Discord because they start to become the communication platform for the internet.
The idea of
that's what they would sell to
basically
investors.
Running social infrastructure in games is actually goddamn huge. While their ads expanding is great, you want to have multiple layers at which you can have that big transformational growth. And what lies at the heart of that growth is you. It is your value as a user. And frankly, the leverage that they have over you. Not necessarily in an evil way, but if they run the infrastructure that is your game's social network, they run your friend groups like Discord server, obviously, it's going to be hard for you to move. You could move personally, but are you really going to convince all of your internet friends to leave Discord?
Goes back
And
to the
even if you
TeamSpeak
do
conversation.
Convince your close friends to leave, what if you're playing a game with other people who are on Discord? It's very, very hard to leave. And that's why moves that make money off you being on Discord are fundamentally important here. But the thing is, being public cuts both ways. I've just talked up the story of showing big growth potential, but let's say numbers don't look good. Let's say earnings growth or earnings per share or margin go down. That's shocking, that's scary, and that's exactly the sort of thing that leads to damaging cost savings, right? Short-term cuts, cutting your nose to spite your face, new monetization schemes, and all sorts of lunacy that we are
cutting employees and putting more ads in Discord. That's the kind of panic moves that start to happen.
Now used to. And I think the best example of that is ads. Discord have done ads in a way that I would say is well designed, fairly thoughtful, and with a decent amount of care, and also a decent amount of user
so
control.
far.
That's because they did adverts on their own terms, with their own goals and incentives, which were longer term, about showing growth, likely to successfully go public. But if investors need a lot of money now, if they need to turn around their story as a company, will they have the time to do ads in a thoughtful way that actually works with users? Or will it be short-term?
The thing is, you get a lot of short-term investors, right, who want profits now. They don't give a shit about what's going to happen with the company 5 and 10 years from now. There are those long-term investors who care about the health of the company, and they want it to exist for a long-term growth. But a lot of investors are going to come in and they are like, we need profits this year. So then they double the fucking amount of ads you get to generate quicker profits. That's where you get like bad play coming from that shit.
Money me now, because the C-suite are under a lot of pressure from investors and analysts. That is how going public fundamentally changes the sorts of decisions that a company makes and the goals that they have. Hang on a second though, we gotta stop, we gotta have a reality check. The truth is that Discord is basically incredible. Compared to where things were in the past, it's essentially a piece of magic. I mean, I remember the days of Ventrilo,
Discord,
of Xfire. Remember Xfire? To be as huge as Discord, with as many features, and all of those essentially free, is absolutely wild. I mean, Slack's cheapest offering is £7 a month. Teams is £3.10 a month. Campsite looked promising, but it was for work and Notion bought it and then shut it down. And there are other options, some free and open source ones like Revolt. Revolt is free, open source, very Discord-like, but it's also still very much in development. And anything would have to get past Discord's moat. The fact that we're all real bought into Discord.
They would all be playing catch-up, basically. Discord would have to really fuck up to lose its place right now as the go-to platform.
In some cases, we even bought cosmetics or had a Nitro subscription. And that would make changing away feel bad. You see, the best way to be directly aligned with your users is to make money directly for them, to have them literally pay for your software. We live in a world, though, where people kind of demand free, but then adverts are kind of broadly hated. I feel like across the world, this is coming to a head. Because if people are directly paying for the software they're using, then as a developer, you're focusing on features and the experience of that customer, not necessarily new schemes or expanding your scope. Which, of course, we have seen Discord have to do. Is there a world where Discord does not have to do ads, where it does not have to do this SDK, where actually, just off the back of Nitro, it can be what it needs to be for gamers and have good incentives? Is that actually possible? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Is that enough, though? Is anything ever enough? Say that Discord Nitro generates more than enough profit to bring profitability to the shareholders. The problem is they will always want more. So they'll be like, okay, that's great. This Nitro is amazing. It gives us a lot of profit. Let's do Nitro with ads. Yeah, let's do Nitro with ads. That'll give us even more, right? That's what you saw with all these streaming platforms. It used to be that if you paid for a streaming platform, you were getting an ad-free platform, right? You were getting access to all this content ad-free. Now, there's a tiered system to subscriptions. Now, you pay for the platform, you're paying for ads. You pay for the platform, but your tiered version is less than the top tier version, which is even more expensive to not have it with ads. So now you're paying for the platform with the ads, and you're watching it that way. It's sad, but that's where streaming went, and that's where probably shit like this will go too. No such thing as the free commercial, right? I talk a lot of shit, but how much do you think Sam is... I wish I was getting paid to watch this video. I'm not. No, reactions are for free.
In the world of going public,
so it's getting $100 per second.
Go up, it's not possible. Because the funding model that leads to Discord even existing in the first place essentially hinges on a big IPO or a big acquisition payday. And that means the development has got to feed into a growth narrative, and that is the recipe for enshittification. I hope Discord gets this right, because what they've built is a genuinely incredible
I love
piece of
Discord.
software and an incredible service. It would be sad to see it go wrong. And to learn another story of Valve's algorithm and what we learned about it when we dig through the data, what it gets right, and some problems that it's solving that are actually new problems, watch this video next.
Yeah, great video, and very much like you guys are all talking shit about me getting paid to watch this video, but it is so relevant to us as as people who play WoW every day, and we're always on Discord, and I'll be at work after stream, and we're always chatting it up in Discord. It's a very relevant product to us in the way we play the game and the way we interact with each other. So what happens to it in the future with investors and everything else, it's going to affect us. Nice video from Bellular.